Outlander stars Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe have finally closed the chapter on their legendary on-screen marriage as Jamie and Claire Fraser, ending more than a decade of working side by side. "Caitriona and I are going to be in each other's lives forever," Heughan told the Post with quiet certainty. "We're lifelong friends, and we've shared this extraordinary journey from start to finish." He added warmly, "I'm so proud of her, she's thriving, she's shining, and she's choosing incredible projects. I love seeing her soar." Outlander first premiered in 2014 and will conclude with its 8th and final season, set to air in 2026, though Heughan and Balfe have already wrapped filming. While promoting his upcoming book The Cocktail Diaries, A Spirited Adventure, out September 23, Heughan confirmed that although production has ended, the cast will still gather again for premieres and press events. "There will definitely be a big celebration," he teased. And yet, even after all this time, he admitted, "I haven't seen the finished episodes, so even I don't fully know how it ends." The story of Outlander centers on Claire, a combat nurse from 1945 who is inexplicably pulled back in time to the 18th century, where she meets Jamie Fraser, the Scottish Highlander who becomes her destiny. Heughan, currently rehearsing Macbeth in London, shared an anecdote about Balfe. "We had lunch in London recently. Normally, it turns into 1 or 2 margaritas," he laughed, "but we behaved this time. Still, it's always wonderful being with her." He added fondly, "Even if we don't talk for a while, we always pick up effortlessly." Although he hasn't watched the final cut of the ending, Heughan has a unique piece of insider knowledge from the book series that inspired the show. "When I got the role, Diana Gabaldon shared the final chapter of the final book with me," he revealed. "She hasn't finished the book yet, but she already knew the ending. Because the series hasn't reached that far in the books," he noted, "the show isn't the end of the story. But I hope the ending we created is deeply satisfying for the fans." When pressed about whether Jamie's fate in the show differs from the books, he smirked and said, "I'm not saying if it is or isn't. I cannot confirm or deny." Reflecting on the end of filming, Heughan confessed the truth fans had long suspected: "It's been a huge part of my life. Bittersweet, absolutely. We were ready to finish, but it's still heartbreaking to say goodbye, not just to the characters, but to our family." Then, almost whispering, he added, "I'll miss the people the most, the ones I've spent more than 11 years with. I'll miss pulling on Jamie Fraser's boots every morning. But stepping away also opens a door for everything that comes next." For over a decade, Sam Heughan carried Jamie Fraser's soul, his courage, his passion, his heartbreak, his loyalty, his fire. But nothing in battle, romance, or loss prepared him for the emotional weight of Season 8, the end. For millions of fans, this final chapter marks not just the close of a show, but the end of a world shaped by Jamie and Claire's legendary chemistry. And for Sam, it represented something even deeper: the closing of a partnership with Caitriona Balfe that had defined his career, his growth, and a part of his identity. In interviews as the finale approached, fans noticed it immediately. His tone shifted, gentler, more reflective. His laughter carried warmth. His eyes carried unspoken meaning. He wasn't simply praising a co-star. He was honoring someone who had stood beside him through 11 transformative years. "Caitriona," he said with unguarded softness, "has been my partner in everything. I can't imagine doing this journey without her." Those words ignited social media instantly. His admiration didn't sound rehearsed. It sounded real, raw, intimate, and deeply felt. Even when he laughed about appearing emotional, the fragility beneath the humor was unmistakable. "Spend over a decade with someone like her," he said, eyes lowered, "and tell me it doesn't change you." That sentence broke the internet, not because it was dramatic, but because it was undeniably true. During the months before filming wrapped, Sam opened up in ways he never had before. "Caitriona," he said, "was the calm in the storm, the anchor in chaos, the one who kept me grounded when everything else was spinning." Fans sensed that what he spoke about wasn't just professional respect, it was gratitude shaped by years of shared battles, triumphs, and heartbreaks. He recalled their chemistry test, the moment the universe clicked into place. "I felt scented the second she walked into the room," he whispered. "I knew she was Claire. She was the one." As the final season approached, the weight of goodbye grew heavier. "We've grown up together," he said. We've walked each other through marriages, grief, burnout, pandemics, victories, sleepless nights. He paused, smiled, a smile filled with entire memories. She's one of the best people I've ever met. When a reporter asked what he'd miss most, Sam didn't even blink. Her, he answered, then laughed at the honesty of it, though the softness in his voice revealed the truth beneath. The room laughed with him, but everyone felt the quiet ache behind his words. What he rarely admitted publicly until now was how she steadied him in the moments no one saw. The inside jokes, the silent glances across a crowded set, the ability to read each other instantly. Sometimes she knew me better than I did, he confessed. Fans felt the impact of that admission because partnerships like theirs, deep, rare, transformative, don't come often, and they don't fade easily. When asked about filming their final scenes, Sam swallowed hard. We cried, he said. Both of us. More than once. He described Caitriona fighting tears during one of their final emotional scenes, her voice quivering as she tried to stay in character. I think the truth of what we were losing hit us both at the same time. The final season wasn't just a goodbye. It was a reflection of everything they had lived, built, and become together. She's been my partner in every sense, he said. I don't know how to separate Jamie from Claire without thinking of her. That quiet confession became the headline everywhere. He talked about nights when they rehearsed until exhaustion, lifting each other up when emotions ran too deep. We trusted each other completely, he said. That kind of trust is rare. They even argued sometimes, small debates about choices or beats, but those moments only deepened the work. She challenged me, she made me better. As filming neared the end, Sam spoke more openly about how profoundly Caitriona had shaped him. She's seen me at my best and my worst. And she never judged me. He talked about how fame had pushed him to the edge at times, but they always pulled each other through, with laughter, quiet moments, or simply knowing they weren't alone under the pressure of global obsession. One memory fans will never forget came from early in filming, when Sam admitted he felt overwhelmed by the weight of portraying a beloved literary hero. He'd slipped outside late at night to rehearse under the dark sky. Caitriona found him, sat beside him, said nothing at first, just sat. Everything felt lighter, he said softly. That moment became symbolic of the bond they built. As the final scenes approached, Sam's affection became unfiltered. He described holding hands after an intense emotional sequence, neither willing to let go. The moment said everything, he whispered. Some connections don't need words. During their last week, Caitriona surprised him with a handwritten letter, one he'll never share publicly. One of the most beautiful gifts I've ever received, he said. He kept it in his jacket pocket until the end. Their final day on set felt sacred. They filmed quietly, with only a few crew members. When the director said cut, neither moved. They just stared at each other, the weight of 11 years between them. Caitriona cried first. Sam followed. Their embrace lasted long and fierce, a goodbye not only to characters, but to a life they had built together. After filming ended, Sam admitted the silence felt strange. I kept wanting to text her, he said. To share a joke, to check in, and then I'd remember, we weren't filming anymore. They still spoke, but everything felt different. It's like finishing a chapter you never wanted to end, he said. But I'm grateful, so grateful. He praised her endlessly, her power, her grace, her intelligence, her ability to command a room effortlessly. She's extraordinary, he said more than once. Interviewers stopped trying to guide him. They simply let him speak. Sam emphasized that nothing, not future roles, future partnerships, or future lifetimes, could replicate what they built on Outlander. We grew up together, he said. We learned everything together. How to navigate fame, how to protect ourselves, how to keep going. We faced things no one else understood. And we did it hand in hand. He acknowledged the fans who blurred the lines between reality and fiction, who hoped the bond on screen reflected something truthful off screen. What Jamie and Claire have is rare, he admitted. And people sensed that what Caitriona and I brought to it came from something real. Then came the moment that stunned the world. After a long pause, Sam looked down, voice barely audible. I love her, I really do, not in the way people imagine, but I love her deeply. He didn't explain. He didn't need to. Everyone understood. As season 8 draws closer, Sam's reflections have become a love letter to the show, to the fans, and above all, to Caitriona Balfe. To the partnership that shaped them. To the world they built. To the characters they gave their hearts to. No matter what, he said, a part of me will always be Jamie. And a part of me will always be connected to her. And as fans prepare to say goodbye, one truth rises above all else: Outlander may be ending, but the bond between Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe, the laughter, the trust, the years, will remain one of the most extraordinary creative partnerships television has ever known.